Hello and welcome back to Creative Design and Supply. Today we are going to make our own sublimation Santa sack with a few designs that I have added just to show you how to make designs. And this one right here, I believe, because I'm going to print with a Sawgrass 500, I am going to show you how to crop and make a bigger image. I'm only going to do this one as that because I don't want to clutter it up too much. So let's go ahead and we are going to start out. So what I like to do is I like to do my page setup so that way I do not forget, because I am printing from a Sawgrass, but I am designing in Silhouette Studio. Now I am using Business Edition, and you can download the free version and do most of the same things that I do. I just have a few more features. All right, so now I am going to take this right here, and I want to make sure that it's around 11 inches because I'm going to use two 8.5 by 11s. All right. So on my page setup for me to print, I'm going to do machine none, cutting mat none, and I'm doing an 8.5 by 11, and I have it with the portrait style. That way I know which way I'm going with it. Down here, you can click show print border if you would like. That way it puts a border around that. All right. So now, let me get that out of the way. All right. So now if you have a PNG, and you bring it in and it may look a little bit bigger, but if you, okay, so this one I haven't done. So see how the box measurement is not correct? I went ahead and erased all these out. And so see, now it's a little bit smaller, but to make it the actual size, so you're not guesstimating, because you have a little bit, you have almost an inch over here, and then about 3/4 over here. And how I'm looking is because I see the line right here, and then I go over. All right, so let's go ahead and trace this, and we're going to remove. So I'm going to go over here and select my trace area. I have already done that with all the other ones. Now it gives me an automatic trace value. So I'm going to trace and detach. All right. All right, now you see the little line that I have right there. All right, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to select, whoops. I'm going to select all those. Let's see, what is that right there? We're going to delete that because that was bothering. All right, so now I'm going to group that. So now it's actually the size of what it is. So you don't have to do any guesstimate on it. All right. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this reindeer. This reindeer is from one of our designs. You can get this in Sublimation or Color Splash Ultra Transfer. All right, so now I am going to come over here and I am going to draw a box. All right. Put it over here. And I like to do this with my templates, so that way I can mock everything up. All right, so we have a 19.5 by 26. All right, so I need to unlock that. Now I'm going to come over here, move this over. I'm going to go ahead and color this white so that way I can, whoops, I have to highlight it, then click white. All right. Now what I like to do is I like to right click and send to back. That way I don't have to move everything and send everything forward. All right. So now here is my mock-up, but I am going to slide this right down here, and we are going to work on this for right now. All right, so for us to be able to split this image, we are going to need to duplicate it twice. All right. And so if you have a bigger image, you can duplicate it however many pages that you would need. So here I'm going to have to draw another 8.5 by 11. All right. It doesn't have to be white. It just shows, let's see. Let me go ahead and change it back to clear so that way we can see what we're doing. So if this was bigger and I was going to have to slice it 4 times, I would need 4 boxes and 4 of the images. All right, so you will see why in just a moment. All right, so right here, I'm going to hover over and I'm going to get it as close as I can. Let's see. There we go. So I want a little bit of a gap. All right, I'm going to go right about there. That way there's not too much in the way. Now I'm going to select both of those and I'm going to come over here to my modify panel and I am going to crop. All right. So now I have one piece. All right. So now I need to do that again. Whoops. I should have duplicated it. Sorry. I usually duplicate my images and my 8.5 by 11 paper or whatever paper I'm using. All right, so I want to go a little bit further over here. I need to give it a little bit more of a gap. So I'm going to go all the way over to the A. Let's go ahead and put this up here. So now my other page is going to be I'm going to go right about there. All right. Select those. I'm going to go back over to my modify panel and I am going to crop. All right. So now I have enough room that I have so I can piece those together. All right. So now I have my 2 pieces for that. And so now let's go ahead and we are going to, I'm just going to kind of put him together. Drag all this stuff down. Oops. All right. So, and this is just to get a placement of it. All right. So stretch him out just a little bit. Now I'm going to find a good font that I like. All right. Whoops. Okay. I always go, Lemon Dreams is one of my favorite. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. And I'm going to keep this one, click, and then I'm going to arrow down. And then that way you can see there is another one that I like. Let me see if I can get to it. And it's a script. There it is. All right. Bella Rose. I forgot about this one. All right. So I'm going to take this one and I am going to color and do a few things with it. So since I made this one, you are going to have a cut line. So if you are going to do sublimation, you see how the red is around it? You want to make that whatever color this is. So I am going to match this red And then I'm going to match this green. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over here to my palette and I'm going to get my eyedropper, and now it changes it to the same exact color. All right. So now I want to do an offset of it, and I want to do it in this green. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get the eyedropper. Whoops. I want to Control Z because I want that like that. So I am going to come over to my eyedropper and I'm going to get this color right here. So now it's added to my palette. So now I can come around and I can do a right click and I can do an offset. All right. And I want to make sure it's round. I do sometimes 95. I really like 75 on this one because I don't want too much of it. I just want a hint of it. All right. So I apply. Then I come over here and I am going to oh, my offset is not very big at all. All right, so I'm going to come back over and I'm going to Control Z. Whoops. And I'm actually just going to all right. And I'm just going to delete this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make it 95 because that's 35, no wonder. Okay, stop. I clicked it way too many times. All right, so now I am going to, now that's 0.75, okay, and I applied that one. I'm going to come back over to my color, and now it is green. All right. I may, let's see, and I want to go ahead and group these because if not, it would move just like I had it a minute ago. All right. So now I want to match this red to this red. So I am going to, so now I'm going to get my eyedropper. All right. So now it has that red over there. Whoops. Control Z. All right. And I think I'm going to leave this. So I'm going to put it right down here, I think. I may change my mind a few times, but that's the good thing about making your own design. You can change. All right. Just making sure that that was, all right. Now I want to make a compound, whoops. No. Convert to path, sorry. That way I get the true size of everything, and I want to make it just a little bit bigger. All right, I may stretch it too. There we go. I don't want to stretch it too much because I want it to be able to be easily eye-pleasing. All right. And I will go ahead and cut those in half so that way I will be able to print on 8.5 by 11. All right. So let's see. I'm going to I'm not sure where this is going to play in, but All right. And I can make that bigger. Whoops. Okay. Just to fill in some spots, and let me make sure that that's how I want it. All right. Just think that, whoop, you have to watch what you're grabbing whenever you, okay, that looks good. Okay. So now that I have everything that I want, I am going to go ahead and break it down. So I am going to move this over because that was, well, before I do that, sometimes I like to take the whole thing and I will duplicate it. And then that way I can slide it over here. Oh, bring forward. There we go. All right. All right, something like that. But now I have everything that I need. I'm not going to use our design, so I'm going to slide it over here. So now I have my 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to come up here. All right. And now I am going to Control P and I will print that one. And let me go to the next one. All right. So I am going to Control P. And this is where some people get a little lost on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to click print, but we're going to come up here and instead of going to your Sawgrass printer, because sometimes the preferences, whenever you turn to mirror it, it does not mirror properly. So if you go to the Sawgrass Print Manager, everything works out great. So I'm just going to check and make sure that my preferences are the way that it's supposed to be in my print quality. All right. So that is great. So I'm going to apply and then press print. Oh, and I need to go ahead and okay. I had to change something in my Zoom so that way you were able to see the print manager. All right. And I will tell you on the substrate, if you do not pick the proper substrate, I see some colors different. So I have, I don't have to change it because it's at polyester. Everything is proper. So now I'm just going to press print. All right. And now it will print that page. And I like to slide everything over to the right that I have already done. So I'm going to add this. All right. And I'm going to see how much stuff I can align on here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this one more time, and I am going to ungroup it. All right. Oh, real quick before, and I completely forgot about this. Let me highlight this. So over here, whenever I click for the green, you see the red line, it will print like that. So you want it to go green. Now you see how much more red it gets. There we go. All right. And I'm going to ungroup. I thought I already did that, but I did. And I'm going to group those. So that way, let me see. Oh no, let's see. Ooh, that's pushing it. I don't want to do that. So I will do that on the next page. And then that way I can get all of those on there. All right. So now I'm going to Control P one more time. And hold on, I'm going to cancel because I'm going to slide that down just a little bit. That way I can tear my edges. All right. And then I am going to select my print manager. Right. And then this comes up, everything's mirrored, everything's correct. All right, and I'm going to press print. Grab these and slide them over. All right. Of course not. All right, so let me see what else I can get on here. And on my last page, I'm going to add a few things that I need to print, but I won't need for a day or so. All right. All right. So now Control P again, and then I'll print the Christmas and the other one, and I will meet you in the next video. I like to put these videos as two-part. That way, some people already know how to design, or they already bought their file, so therefore they don't need this part, and I will see you for the sublimation. If you have any questions about any of this, please comment below, and I will be glad to answer it for you.